Well, I know there's some new faces, definitely. So let's go around the horn, and I'll start with Ralph and myself. I'm obviously Steve Mercer, Vice President of Communications at U.S. Wheat Associates. I'm uh, started back in 2006, September of '06. And for those of you who don't know, I'm planning on retiring from full time uh, next year, probably mid-year. So we'll be probably looking at hiring someone else before that happens. But uh, I'm uh, I'm excited about that, but I'm sure going to miss everybody. So I appreciate everybody jumping on and participating. So Ralph.
I'm Ralph Lose, Director of Communications based here in DC. I work for and with Steve as a team. I've been with US Wheat a little over 2 years now.
Yep. His first gig with us was going to the World Staff Conference in Maui.
My first
Not
day
bad.
was in Maui. Yeah, that's
Not bad.
gonna time
Yeah.
that pretty well.
Yeah. Hi, Lisa. Uh, Lisa, I apologize. I don't think I got your name on the invitation list, but my apologies for that.
That's all right. Mike sent it to me. I'm Lisa Bryant. I'm do the marketing and communications with the Oklahoma Wheat Commission, and I've been on board since June full time. I've done contract work for them for several years.
Great. Gary Puckett from Ohio.
Hi, everyone.
Good job.
As previously mentioned, Gary Puckett from Ohio with Ohio Corn and Wheat. Wrapping up my 4th week on the job here on Friday. So nice to meet all of you and happy to get to know you as we go forward.
Amanda Spoo. She is.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I was across the room. Yeah, good morning. I am Amanda, and there's lots of new faces here. That's great. I worked for Steve for 8 years. So you're welcome, Ralph, for making your first day on the job in Hawaii.
You timed that perfectly. It
I
wasn't
timed
me.
that so perfectly for you. Um, And yeah, so now after a little bit of a detour from ag, I am back. We always make it back to wheat somehow. They joke that nobody actually leaves the wheat industry. But so now I am working, doing some freelancing for Steve, as well as for the Oregon Wheat Commission as well.
And Amanda Hoey.
Amanda squared.
Yes, good morning. Amanda Hoy. I'm the CEO for the Oregon Wheat Commission. I don't have much that I'll have to say on this one since we have Amanda Spoo on board. So it's great that we've got that double Amanda for Oregon.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Marcia.
I'm Marcia Boswell. I'm Vice President of Communications at Kansas Wheat, and I've been here for a long time. I originally started in '99.
Okay, great.
But then I took about 6-year hiatus and came back about 10 years ago.
Great, cool. Hi, Keith.
Proving what Amanda just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
You come back, yes.
Keith Kennedy, Executive Director, Wyoming Wheat Marketing Commission. And I have been around a while.
Sounds good. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan Mortensen with the Idaho Wheat Commission. Just coming up on completing 2 years with the commission, and I'm still here, so I must be doing something right. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel the same way. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. John Kleinjohn, Exec Director of South Dakota Wheat Commission. And since we are a one-man band here, I guess I'm the communications person as well. Right. I started in January, so this will be my first probably official meeting with this group, and looking forward to learning how to communicate, I guess, from the rest of you.
It's great. We like to have the second part of this meeting where everybody shares, what they're doing in their state. I think is really valuable for you guys as well. Jaden, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm Jaden Heckenlively. I'm with Nebraska Wheat, and I'm our marketing and communications person. And I've been with Nebraska Wheat for about 2 years now. So
Very good. Steely, how are you? You're muted.
I
There you
clicked
go.
it, but there was a notification at the same time. I'll try again. Steely from Texas. We're not exactly a one-person show, but it does feel like it right now. We're a little understaffed. So I am trying to handle our communications, which really means sporadically jumping into that category. But it is a position that I had when I started with Texas Wheat, so some of it is still familiar to me. I'm glad to be on with you guys, hoping to get some handy tips for that work now.
Sounds great. Thank you, Steely. And Janelle McHenry just popped on.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Janelle McHenry. I work for the Maryland Grain Producers Association and the Utilization Board as the program's NPR director.
Great. Thanks for joining us, Janelle. We appreciate it. Well, good. So first off, wanted to give you an update on communications activities from U.S. Wheat Associates. We're going to talk about the Gulf supply chain video that Ralph is managing and the website revision, which we talked about in the summer. We introduced that in the summer. Some of the upcoming RAP projects that are happening and some of the news from overseas that I think is interesting about that. And then we'd like to get your input on how we're doing in terms of providing information about the work that U.S. Wheat Associates does. And we've established a couple of new things, the grist and videos that provide some more information. And so we'd like your feedback on those initiatives, but also your own thoughts about what we can do better. So I will turn it over to Ralph, who's going to give you a look, I think, at this new video.
Yes, this project, some of you are familiar with it. Some of you, it'll be new to you, but seems like we've been working on it for a long time, but we actually started in May. We filmed 2 farmers, one in Kansas, one in Nebraska. The whole goal of the video is to show how wheat from the Plains states makes its way down to the Texas Gulf, and where it is exported and shipped out. We worked to get a customer of US Wheat to talk about the supply chain and the transport system here in the US. Along with those 2 farmers, we had we spent time down in the Gulf and Houston and had them talk about their role in shipping wheat as well. It's never easy working in 3 or 4 different states and 2 different countries putting this together, but we're getting very close. Originally, we wanted to have it ready by the 1st of November. We're getting close. You can sit back and relax. I have a kind of a rough draft of where it sits right now. There are still a few edits to this that are underway where we're going to have animation that kind of shows the flow of wheat from the Plains states and how it works its way down. Those still have to be added. There are a few trims and cuts to what we have here, but this will kind of give you a good look at what's going to be available hopefully really soon. So if you give me a second here I'm working on 3 monitors, so can everybody see?
See your crowded desktop?
Yeah, I have to move it over here.
Yep.
Okay.
And audio we got, right?
Yeah. see if this works. Are you getting sound?
No sound, Ralph.
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay. I just went through this the other day, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And share, I think. Include sound in the share mode. You got to go back to share mode, the share button, and
Yep.
click include sound. Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Sorry about that,
All right.
folks.
No, that's all right. We don't see the video now.
Got it?
Now we got it. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
My name is Guillermo Gomez. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors of Grupo Trimex. We are proud to be a milling company that reaches the table of many Mexican families with our flour through a wide range of customers, from multinational companies to mom-and-pop bakeries. Wheat is key to our business, and it's our most important raw material from which all our products are made. So reliable access to wheat is crucial to the success of our business.
The United States is known for providing the most reliable source of wheat for buyers like Grupo Trimex across the world. But how? Let's start at the beginning to see how every person and organization contributes to the supply chain process, specifically for the Western Gulf Port.
I'm Derek Sawyer from McPherson, Kansas. I'm a fourth-generation farmer, and my family has farmed the ground for over 75 years. I've had the privilege to meet some of our international customers, and it was really important for me to not only connect with them and provide them with a face to the product that they were using, but to get input back from them to the way I farm. We have really turned our efforts more from a quantity of production of wheat to a quality. When we choose varieties to plant for our wheat every fall, we're really looking down the supply chain for wheat varieties that will match what our customers want. And we realize that the milling aspects of the wheat are just as important as the amount of wheat that they're getting.
Farmers like Derek in Kansas plant hard red winter wheat varieties in the fall and harvest grain during the summer months. Harvest season varies depending on the wheat variety, growing region, and weather.
I am Kent Lorenz. I'm from Stratton, Nebraska. I am a wheat producer with me and my family. We've been busy harvesting this time of year. Most people would probably look at it and call it a mad frenzy because we're trying to do the most we can every day. So after harvest, we basically have two choices. We could either haul it to the local elevator or store it here on the farm and deliver it later. What makes U.S. wheat so dependable is our robust network of local elevators. All the wheat that is delivered to the elevator, it is all probed and tested, and each load is tested for test weight, moisture, and protein. So that load can be put in a separate bin with high quality wheat, and they are maintaining its temperature and its moisture also to make sure that it stays that high quality as well. We are raising a food grade product here.
We are a family-run and operated business. We like to roll our sleeves and get to the details which are official to our businesses. It's very important to understand and visit our wheat suppliers to get a first-hand understanding of their agricultural process to grow the wheat we use through our mills. Wheat from the United States has availability, consistency, good quality, and it's a reliable origin. Logistics and inventories with our operation can be very complex, and the United States proximity to Mexico and the competitive advantage to ship via vessel or rail is also key for us. From a quality standpoint, we can find different wheat varieties that enable us to make different flour types with the characteristics we need to satisfy our wide range of clients and consumers.
To fulfill orders for international buyers like Grupo Trimex, the United States' vast network of elevators that are connected via highways, railroads, and rivers help exporters to source the exact specification of grain the buyer needs and quickly transport it to ports like the Port of Houston in Texas.
Temco is a joint venture between CHS and Cargill. We're focused on exporting grain. We have 2 terminals in the Pacific Northwest in Kalama and Tacoma, and Houston, Texas, here in the Texas Gulf region. When we receive an order from an overseas buyer, we're able to leverage the large supply chain network that we have access to ensure that we can reach out across the country and get the exact specs and quality factors that that customer has requested. The average shuttle train that we unload has approximately 115 cars, which equates to about 435,000 bushels. The average semi-truck that we unload has approximately 1,200 bushels. This ship behind me that we're loading today is going to take about 1.9 million bushels, which will be upwards of 44,000 wheat acres grown in the United States. One of the benefits of buying U.S. wheat is that all of our grain being exported is graded by FGIS, which is the Federal Grain Inspection Service, a division of the USDA. FGIS helps to ensure that there are standard quality factors across all grain being exported out of the United States. That ensures that customers are continually getting a very quality standard product no matter what terminal it's being exported out of. We serve ports from South America to Africa to Europe to Asia. So the wheat that's grown in the United States is being used for all different types of products all around the world. So we ensure that we get the proper quality out and we're able to serve all of those customers.
Simply put, the Western Gulf port supply chain is the link between buyers like Grupo Trimex in Mexico to farmers like Derek in Kansas or Kent in Nebraska.
When a customer buys U.S. wheat, they're buying a product that is reliable, consistent, and uniform. And we understand that starts right here on the farm, and I'm proud to be part of that.
As a farmer, as well as I believe all U.S. farmers, we appreciate a lot that we can produce a very high quality product that can be readily and easily shipped across the world so other people can enjoy the quality of that product.
I view my role in the supply chain as being extremely important because I know how much passion the U.S. farmer puts into growing their crops. Year-round, they're dedicating their time and energy to the fields and to the crop that they're growing. It's my responsibility to ensure that I handle that grain with the passion and care that they do.
Talking with farmers in person in their farms is vital to our way of thinking and finding something in common with them. We know they are also family and operated businesses, so we understand each other through common experiences shared during these conversations. We have learned that our farmers partners envision leaving a better fields for future generations. They live out this vision by continually innovating with their practices. We want to celebrate the effort undertaken and be part of this journey while encouraging continued advancements in wheat farming.
Overall, the level of care, efficiency, and effectiveness of our wheat supply chain is unmatched because the dependable people responsible for each step in this process are all committed to excellence and ensuring U.S. wheat remains the top choice for more than 100 countries worldwide.
Okay. That's about a minute and a half longer than we want it, but there's still going to be some trimming to it. So
For sure. Definitely rough cut there.
yeah.
I think it's really important to know that uh, we're excited about really demonstrating the efficiency of the Gulf uh, supply system. You know, we've done a video back for the 40th anniversary that basically uh, featured farmers from around the country, but it was the Pacific Northwest supply chain. So we're excited about this, and we are going to also be working on the RAP program down the road, looking at the Mississippi Gulf uh, program as well. So I appreciate your sharing that, Ralph.
No problem. And if anybody has any questions, just let me know. Like I say, well, we're still aiming to get it done here in a couple of weeks. Our agency Middle, that's based there in Manhattan, Kansas, has been working hard on it. We have like I say, we have a handful of edits that still have to be made, but we're excited about it. So, as Steve said.
Great.
And now you can see why I never got a job with the local movie theater trying to present movies.
Projectionist. Yep. Okay. Let's talk about website.
On that note, simultaneously, we've been working on revising and updating and basically redoing our website. There was nothing wrong with the website the way it was. We just wanted to give it a little bit of an upgrade. That I've sent. There's still a few things that have to be done with it, but I have sent it to all our staff overseas to look at to get their feedback, and I will share that. There is no sound with this, so we're good. Can you see that?
We can. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So basically, we lightened it up a little bit. We added a lot of new images and I'll scroll down here on the main site. We made it a little less busy on the front end while providing the same information that we had, and kind of updating some of the the contents on the inside as well. So this is basically what it will look like on the front end on the home page. There's where we will place our news items and press releases and those sorts of things on a regular basis. We go into descriptions of each class of wheat, really aimed at our overseas customers. We're really going to focus on sustainability, of course, which is something we'll continue to work on. This will be anchored by our Stories of Stewardship project, where we are going to continue to add sustainability items and pieces of videos and articles that we do in the future related to sustainability. So it'll have its own corner, as you can see up here on the tab. It'll have its own corner on our main homepage. There's Kent, who you just saw in the video. And we'll continue to provide the daily pricing reports and those sorts of things as well. You can go inside and see all the market information as we have it.
I think we really have uh, trimmed some of the content and really made the most visited sites and the most important parts of the website more prominent. The market information is tops, crop quality is right up there. We want to obviously grow awareness of the sustainability story. So we think it's definitely a more open look. The it's been Amanda Spoo worked on this, and it was her major project. This goes back to 17 or 18, I think, Amanda. And so
17, yeah.
17,
the first
yeah.
time, and then
First
a
time
mini update in 21.
we did a compliance update for Americans with disabilities, et cetera, and made some additional changes, emphasized crop quality. So it's I think it's a nice progression, more modern look perhaps than 5 years ago, which I guess is a long time in the website world. So
As many of you know who have worked on either building a website or revising a website, it really is falling down a hole because you get into it and you start making decisions about what needs to be here, and times change so quickly these days. And we really had to try to be efficient with the content that we're providing. I would say 20 years ago, you'd build a website, you just put everything you have on there and let people dig around to find it. Whereas our goal more and more these days is to make it a lot easier for, in our case, our customers overseas to come to our site and quickly, while we have their attention, find the information they're looking for. So
yeah,
that's kind of the goal. That's what we're going for. We're just waiting for a few more okays and thumbs up, and we will make this live, I would say, in a very short time.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Well, we'll certainly would welcome your input, as we go forward on that and on the supply chain video. Moving on, just a quick verbal update on some of the wrap projects that we're working on in communications. We are about to start production of that flour milling three-dimensional display that our overseas offices have requested. We're probably going to work closely with the Northern Crops Institute and IGP, and not sure who that supplier is going to be yet, but we've got an RFP out, and we're going to be working on that. That's a long-term project. That's going to take a year or so. Under an older project, but ATP actually, we have updated the U.S. wheat sample cards. So we have those in stock at the office in Arlington, and I will be sending around a note to everybody re-asking whether or not you would like to purchase those, because they are paid for by federal funds. Any domestic use, those sample cards would have to be purchased by the states for their use. So we'll send out that information very soon. Just today, we're working on the grist for November, which we'll talk about just on the next bullet here. But I saw that there was a advanced milling course at the IGP Institute that took place in October, and it was for 4 flour millers from Korea. And I was surprised by the limited number. When I talked with Sean Teely at IGP, I learned that between ATP and the WRAP program, offices in Korea, Taiwan. There's a similar program just about to start at IGP for the Taiwan office. Those programs have really allowed us to expand the number of activities and the number of people that we can reach at a much more granular level. One of the other things that's happening is we're having additional crop quality seminars in Africa due to the RAP program. So we're just seeing really great opportunity with those programs. One of the other RAP programs for communications that we're going to do is Ralph mentioned that we're going to expand the number of, we'll call it stories of stewardship. So we will be in touch with you if you have not had a producer involved in that as a state, to set up an opportunity for us to come interview farmers that represent the stewardship message that we're continuing to share. So we're excited about that, and we'll be reaching out to you for that as well. So we appreciate that. So we'll move on quickly to our final point from U.S. Wheat. And Ralph, if you could stop sharing your video or your screen, be helpful. Here it is. There we go. Thank you. Madison Anderson just pulled in. Glad you could join us, Madison.
Yes. Am I in the hot seat? I show up late.
No,
and then
not
it's my
yet.
turn. No, my thing that came up this morning went short, so I thought I'd see if you guys are still on. So thank you.
Great. I appreciate it. So so what we wanted to do is just take a few minutes and talk about the effort that U.S. Wheat is making. Some of you may recall at the World Staff Conference in Malta, there was an emphasis discussion on the need for additional, I'll call it sellback, but additional information about the value of the investment in export market development that can be shared with farmers in your states. And one of the things that we did was to trade out one issue of our wheat letter, which traditionally has been edited primarily for overseas customers, trade out one of those issues a month for what we've called the grist. And it is intended to provide stories about success stories and other information about U.S. wheat activities, the value that's accrued from those activities, and information about activities that are coming up. And hopefully, one of the things we wanted to ask is if anybody is not getting the grist, please let us know right now. Does everybody get the grist? It comes out once a month.
Steve, I need to be added to your mailing list.
Lisa, okay, yep.
I got you on the list, Lisa.
Everybody else getting it? We are sending out another issue. We were going to send it on Thursday, the 31st, but I think I'll wait till Friday, the 1st. So it's actually in November, but that's coming out. So, okay, good. I'm glad you're getting it. That is one of the things we're doing. Ralph has done a great job doing video reports on activities and other events, et cetera, that are going on, updates from the policy team every month. Those are really our primary efforts. I've worked individually. Ralph and I have both worked individually with other offices, and we want to make sure that if you feel like you need any updates or articles or video or other information that we can provide, to please hopefully give us enough lead time to take care of that, because things are a little busy here, of course, with all the extra work that we're doing. But we're happy to do that. And I know that I see a lot of content coming out in newsletters that we've created. So, and Wheat Letter, occasionally there's some information there. So uh, I I don't want to put anybody on the spot specifically, but if there are any other ideas uh, that you have that we can help improve getting that information out to you, we'd sure welcome it today. Anybody have an opinion about that they want to share? Happy to hear it. Uh, let's see. Amanda, Howie, I'd put you on the spot a little bit if you don't mind. Um, so you've obviously worked in other associations, information. Have you seen any other uh, outlet or channel for that type of information that we should consider or think about?
Uh, off the top of my head, no, but I will definitely think about it and see if
Okay.
there's anything else that I'm seeing in
Okay.
other
Okay.
blogs that might be helpful. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. Anyone else? Well, I don't want to belabor the point, but one thing I do want to say is that we're taking that need very seriously. And if there are ideas or other ways that we can share information that are going to help you uh, uh, tell the story of the value of the investment in export market development, please don't hesitate to share it with us. So, okay, good. All right. Well, taking up too much time talking about U.S. wheat, let's move on to everybody else and look forward to hearing from everyone. So I'm just going to kind of go across the list here. Janelle, you're right next to me, so I'll call on you to share what's going on in Maryland.
All right, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
My computer sounds like it's a spaceship is about to take off. Here at the Maryland Grain Producers, we just released our scholarship program for the year. As a membership association, but also a checkoff funded utilization board, the board funds the association a certain amount each year. So we have increased funding from 17,000 to 20,000. And with that being said, we have 3 different scholarship levels. We have one for members' families who are going to school of some sort studying ag, one for member families, but any could be going to school for any degree. And then we have one for those who didn't have the opportunity to grow up on a farm but still interested in agriculture to apply. So those programs were designed 2 years ago and have taken off greatly. So excited to see how that continues to grow in the future of that program. We also just announced our CDL grant. So back, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago when the regulations changed that you needed to attend school to get your commercial driver's license. That was a huge hinder on a lot of our operations. School here in Maryland's about $4,000 and then about 400 hours of classroom time. So we started a CDL grant 2 years ago, offering $1,500 to 2 individuals that are members planning to stay on the farm. We have increased it to 2 grants at $2,000, and we will see how that program continues to grow. But other than that, we're just wrapping up year end by collecting grant requests for 2025 and doing our annual grain store where we highlight all of our checkoff funded programs and mail to everyone who has a Schedule F in the state of Maryland.
Great. I didn't realize it took that many hours to get a CDL.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to seeing you soon. We know that our grant proposals are coming up here pretty soon, and always look forward to the meeting in January when we come over to present to the commission. So thank you, Janelle. Steely.
Yes. I think I'm gonna bow out of this one. Our
Okay.
communications in Texas have basically just been keeping our head above water, so I'll just
Yeah.
listen.
Well, I mean, if that's a good point that, if there's anything we can do or anybody else can do to help or share, that all the information that we publish certainly is for your use as well. So
Thank you.
thanks. I appreciate it. Jaden. You can go ahead and turn your cameras on. There you go.
Oh, there we
Thank you.
go. Yeah, sorry. I thought it was on, but yeah, so in Nebraska, we're working with a new marketing group, kind of helping us do some more social media marketing. We're doing some video and then digital and print too with them. So we just started that, and we've got a few different campaigns going throughout the year. Right now we're kind of focusing on just getting our name out there, and then we're going to do some consumer promotion, and then some grower promotion once we get into the growing season a little bit more. We've been testing out some different e-news deals with our grower association, and then also the e-news with PGI that we've kind of been working on, and that's been pretty successful so far. And then also our ambassador program is finally up and going. We have 3 ambassadors this year, and at the end of their ambassadorship, they get a scholarship, and each of them kind of have their own little projects that they work on, kind of their area of interest within the wheat industry. And it's been a pretty impressive group so far. One of them is really into social media marketing, and so she's kind of going to take that on and do a lot of our social media, different campaigns and whatnot. The other is really interested in wheat research. So her main goal is basically to take our research projects and find a way to present that to producers and consumers in a way that they understand, just because it is important. And she thinks that there's a gap kind of where people don't really understand that. And she wants to take that away. And she's doing a survey right now with our growers, kind of getting the idea of how much producers value research and kind of what they see. So that's exciting for our board when it comes to funding, to see what our producers really want to see. And then our last one, he's really interested in grower education and variety promotion. So he's working on a few different things there, but that's kind of what we've been working on so far.
Sounds good. Excellent. Any questions for Jaden? No? Madison. Glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad I could make it. So we're just kind of finishing up the year here with our standard publications. Steve and Ralph helped me out.
Madison, you should introduce yourself first, probably.
Oh,
You-
yes. Sorry for
you
those
miss-
of you that don't know me. I am Madison Anderson. I'm the director of communications and policy at Colorado Wheat. So, but yes.
Thank you, Colorado.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. So just working on our standard publications. Thank you again. Steve and Ralph helped me with a story for this most recent one we put out. We also are getting ready to release our annual report that I also combine with a calendar to make sure maybe some people actually read the annual report with it if they're combined. I know people keep the calendars, so wishful thinking, hopefully. I think probably a lot of you obviously know about the HB4 trait and the approval from USDA. Colorado Wheat Research Foundation. It's been put out on the investor calls that we sent germplasm to them about 2 years ago to breed into our varieties, hoping commercialization eventually takes off. So that has been out in the news. So we have been taking some calls on that. Brad, my boss, has been interviewed by a few publications about it. So HB4 has kind of taken over our world here at Colorado Wheat the last couple weeks.
How has reaction been generally that the organization's is actively involved in it?
Knock on wood, so far
Yeah.
okay. And
Yeah.
it's mostly been ag publications. So
Sure.
like I know like some of the interviews Brad has done, like Milling and Baking and the High Plains Journal, so they're fairly friendly. So it's
Yep.
just been like kind of like, what do we foresee? Like just a little more explanation on our involvement. So
Yeah, that
but-
High Plains Journal that Brad was quoted in. So
Oh, you froze. Has it been released?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I saw something recently. I'll share it with you.
Okay. And I
Probably
know
was in articles of interest also. So,
okay. I've been
okay.
a little lax on my email this week, and we get
No,
the
no.
physical copy too. So
Yeah, no problem at all. Cool. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Marcia.
Hi. So you probably maybe have heard that Amelia has taken another position. So we are pretty short-staffed here right now. We have a communications assistant that's been open for a year and a half, maybe. And so we're working on filling that position. And Amelia is like half communications. So her last day is tomorrow. And we always hire our new communications intern in January. So right now I'm like down to bare bones. So kind of like Steely, I've been concentrating on keeping my head above water, but we are working on a few projects coming up, specifically some stuff on consumer outreach. We will have our National Festival of Breads that's held every other year. Entries for that start on November 1st and they go through January 16th, I believe. So if anybody has some excellent bread bakers in their states, we'd love to have you share that information once we get it out there on social media, try to get entries into that baking contest. For those of you who are familiar, that used to be an in-person event that we kind of shut down during COVID, and it's not going to be going back to in-person. It's going to be probably a little bit more small scale this year or in 25 going forward with just online entries and choosing top recipes out of that. Also, a little bit on the consumer side, we've been working with South Dakota and North Dakota on some promotions through Eat Wheat, which is our consumer education website where we fortunately have been able to share all these wonderful US wheat videos and stories that you guys are putting out. And so that's super helpful for us to share those stories of the farmers with consumers. And then right now, October is Pasta Month, so we've been doing a huge promotion there on Pasta Month with North Dakota, and we've been working with John and the team there at South Dakota. So pretty excited about that. And yeah, we're just trying to keep our regular publications going forward, our weekly news articles and sharing information with farmers and having some farmer meetings coming up. It's really dry. And so it's kind of been just telling that story a little bit and how important it is to get some emergence this fall because it's been, as you know, several years of ongoing drought that got a tiny reprieve, but is holding on.
Not looking good. Yeah, it's not looking good. I just heard an individual talking about ag weather, and he's not very encouraging. So
Nope. I think our wet time was short-lived.
you think acreage will be down, planted area?
I've heard conflicting things. I think we'll be steady to slightly down. I don't expect it to go up, but I don't think it'll be down significantly.
Yeah. Well, let's check in with.
questions?
Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
any questions for me or? Thanks.
Let's check in with Oklahoma. Lisa, I assume that weather is the same kind of situation there.
Same situation.
Yeah.
They've updated our drought monitor this morning, and a lot of the states in a worse position. So
Yep.
we
Yep.
ranked pretty badly.
It's a
We
challenge.
it is. It is. We had our bread contest at the state fair in late September, and that was a good success. Our entries were probably about the same, really good quality this year, and we could not have got more people in the building that we were in. So we had a really nice crowd. So a lot of our focus over the next few months will be producing a cookbook of that, all the winning recipes from that, and that's one of our big promotion pamphlets for the year. We are revamping our website some. A lot of it's going to stay the same, but we're adding some functionality, especially around consumer marketing and education and recipe development.
Yeah, you got to get your picture up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a photographer. I don't like pictures of myself, so that's,
Of
and I'm
course.
also the web developer, so I'm stalling on that a little bit.
Okay, good.
But once we get the recipes up, we're really going to be rolling out a lot more social media and education for consumers at that point. We're just kind of waiting on being able to roll on the recipes to get that going some more. This summer at the Ag Media Summit, I talked to an editor at Successful Farming, and she was really interested in wheat production stories. So if any of you have any suggestions, I would be happy to pass those along. But that was one thing I picked up this summer.
Who is that? Who was the editor?
Adrienne Held.
Okay. Make sure
And
she gets on our media list if she's not.
Yes, I am L. Bryant at oklahomawheat.org if anybody has some names you want to send to me.
Okay. Excellent. Thanks very much. We appreciate it. And again, apologies for leaving you out this list. We got that fixed. All right. Moving up the plains, John, can you share any communications or other activity updates from South Dakota? Just wanted to let you know that I just recorded an interview with Pam Geppert for Dakota Farm Talk yesterday. So
Yeah,
that's
I heard
coming out.
I listened to the story she put together, and she did a good job. And,
that's
so
good
did you
because
on the
I didn't
interview.
think I did a great job.
She has a
thought it was
talent
little
of
rough.
making me sound smart, so she must be pretty
Yeah,
good
she
at her
does.
work. But
She's good.
I don't have a lot to add. You just mentioned the Dakota Farm Talk. We do a weekly story on that goes on radio stations across the state that's related to the wheat industry and the wheat commission. Sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge to come up with topics from week to week, but Marcia mentioned we're working with her on Eat Wheat, so I think we'll probably pull some stories off of that as well. I guess between the radio stories, I send a wheat outlook out every week. And then
yep.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Our social media is farmed out to McCracken Consulting. So and I will admit I'm not very good at social media, but I try to send them some things whenever I go to an event or something like that, just so they have some things to post. But communications is not my forte, but I need to learn and I need to do better and surround myself with people that can fill that role.
Wow. Your consultant does a great job, I know. So she was on board. I think, where did she start? At Ohio?
I think she was at Ohio. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Stacey
South
McCracken,
Dakota
right?
I think we were her first customer. So maybe Ohio Grains is not very happy with us for giving her the business initially, but yeah.
That's great. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. So Keith, how are things in Wyoming?
Well, we did talk about the dry just a little bit, and
Yeah.
I don't know. There we go. There I appeared.
Here you are.
We've actually been working on a couple things, and actually almost all of the wheat's in the ground already, and emergence is a little bit better than we might have expected 2 or 3 weeks ago. But like everybody else, we do need some more. A couple of things that we've been working on. One, some of us are getting a little longer in the tooth, and we are actually have to, lack of a better way to put it, apprentice board members that we're bringing on. So we've got some folks in the pipeline as some folks go off the board. It is appointed by the governor here. The other thing is this will be the second year that our annual meeting with the wheat growers will be in conjunction with a regional farm show. And we do that with a breakout session. I think the thing that I was most pleased with about that is that we have around 150 to 200 students that go through the farm show. So we get a chance to visit with them a little bit and do some public education for young people as well. And I was a little apprehensive last year, and like anything for the first time, we had a hiccup or two, but we did learn something. We've actually changed the date around a little bit on that, and pretty excited about that happening.
What is the date, Keith?
I'd have to dig it up, but I believe it's February 4th, I think is correct. And we actually have a meeting next week with the wheat growers to finalize the agenda and everything. So I'll be back with everybody on some speaking engagements for someone from US Wheat.
Is it in Cheyenne?
It's actually in the giant metropolis of Albin, which tends to be central for everybody. But,
Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Hey,
Thank
Keith,
you.
I have a question. When you combine that meeting with a farm show, do you think your attendance is better?
I think our attendance is better, and we actually had 35 vendors there last year, and this farm show's been going on for 5 or 6 years, and the vendors were much more happy to just have one event where they could cover a lot more bases, and it actually increased the number of vendors that were available for the wheat growers.
That's good to know. Always looking for ways to boost attendance and engagement. So thank you.
Cool. So I'm gonna let you know, Lori Markle said she was ill today, so she sent this in. I'll read it for you. She said, we're finalizing our Seasons of Farming print series for Wheat Life magazine in November, continuing to roll those stories to video as well. She says her priorities in 25 include a focus on increasing our email, newsletter, and social media audiences, continuing to prioritize digital storytelling and video content. I know that she's been, working with Ralph, getting some B-roll, so that's exciting for them. Looking for all the ways we can promote, repurpose, and amplify this Seasons of Farming content that they produced, which I think is very good series. We should maybe all see if we can share it. Primary target audience messages continue to be the value proposition for soft white for customers and ROI on assessment dollars for growers. So appreciate that. Lori sending that in. Lori Wickett also has, they have a trade team in town. Not sure which one that is, but she shared a number of ideas. So I'll send these along as well. But she says, following the response to the spring wheat variety guide, we'll be moving to a winter wheat guide this winter. I think that's interesting, expanding on those preferred variety information, getting out to growers, which are certainly supported by U.S. Wheat's effort to get input from overseas millers and bakers. She says they're also going to produce a one-sheet Durham variety guide and hope to release that information to growers in December. Using a communications platform, we shared a plan with the university. Goal is to help growers feel more confident about the work being done at Montana State for research. We'll gather content for distribution through our channels. and then produce a new quarterly blog. So interesting that helping to sell back research results as well. I suppose specifically in wheat breeding, definitely, and as well as production. We're conducting a review of research to attempt to place some measurement of value on that, looking for research wins over the last 10 years, and looking for that in the context of a return on investment. She says we're revamping our approach to crop reports from the last couple of years, stepping up our video. Again, really important. Ralph's doing a great job for us. I think we all value that as a more holistic resource for all activities, focusing our top 2 interest areas in market development and research. And they have a budget meeting next week, and we'll determine the funds for education and then how best to communicate that. So appreciate them sending that in. Okay. Ryan in Idaho, how are you doing?
Idaho's good. So Idaho was able to host 3 trade teams this summer/fall. We had a team from South Korea, the Philippines, and a team from the Japanese Baking Association. And we're proud to host them and show them around Idaho. And also had an opportunity to kind of do a cross-border collaboration with Oregon with our South Korean team, which is a very cool experience for them and opportunity for us. We love trade teams. It's one of our favorite things to do each year. So we appreciate U.S. Wheat coordinating those for us on behalf of our farmers. We also have one of our commissioners and a farmer heading to the governor's trade mission in Asia, happening in the next week. And then one thing we are trying to focus more on is being more transparent for our farmers with the utilization of grower dollars, specifically with U.S. Wheat and how their grower dollars are used through U.S. Wheat for market development. And so we've been fortunate to have quite a few members of the U.S. Wheat staff, Joe Sowers, Mike Spear, Steve Wershing, on our From the Field podcast to talk more about that effort and initiative with U.S. Wheat and market development, and which has really allowed us to provide our farmers with more in-depth, detailed information on how their assessment dollars are being used both domestically and internationally. So.
Excellent. Yeah. I like that merch you got on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We need to get some US Wheat merch, I think. Yeah, definitely. All right, Gary in Ohio, moving back east.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thanks very much. So in my first few weeks here, I have been working on kind of redeveloping our content strategy plan and being very intentional with video production, especially on social media. I have a mentality. I have the CYA mentality, and it's not what you think. It's celebrate your achievements. So that's what we're trying to do on a weekly basis, if not more. And we are being intentional, like I said, about getting video out through social media channels so our members can engage and be a part and see what they're getting in return for their checkoff dollars. We are kind of experiencing a lot of the things that some of you are experiencing. We are in the process of examining our website, doing an audit to help make it more relevant to those who come to our site. We want to make sure that we are giving people, as US Wheat has mentioned, we want to make sure that the most viewed content is there and not just have a wide variety. So kind of narrowing down and being kind of focused on what people are looking for and making sure that they're getting access to that. Other than that, we are in the process of developing a new brand video that we can get out to everybody that wants to either know us or get to know us in advance. So I actually have had the opportunity to work with Ralph and Steve on gathering some footage. And if you guys have any great footage that might be helpful of wheat, especially soft red, that's grown in the field or being harvested, I would love to see it. And then if we'd be able to use it, I would appreciate it. Other than that, we're starting to wrap up the end of year activities, annual reports, and the team here in Ohio is kind of actively interviewing for our CPA program, which is College Policy Academy, where we bring in young ag leaders to teach them about advocacy and growing the next leader for our industry. So that's a short but long list of things that we have going on here in Ohio.
Excellent. Thanks and welcome to the team. We appreciate you being here. All right, Amanda Spoo for Oregon. I assume Amanda's going to do the update.
Yes, there we go. I have a little bit of update, and then if I've forgotten something, Amanda can jump in. We didn't collaborate before this to discuss who was going to say what, but so I've been doing some work for them for I think I'm at month 3 now. So mostly focused on their social media. So they are very active on Instagram and Facebook. So I post a couple times a day there for them. They are busy preparing for their tri-state convention, which is with Oregon and Washington up in Coeur d'Alene. And I will be up there this year. So those of you that are there that I haven't met yet, please come say hi. They also send out a newsletter twice a month, which is, I think, a great way to reach their growers. It contains a lot of really timely information. I design, as far as like tools people use, that gets done on Canva and then published as a PDF. So that's both mailed out to growers, and also there's an email version on Constant Contact. And then I've also been writing some magazine articles for them. So they publish a magazine every other month that also gets sent to growers and I guess what we would say like industry friends or industry, adjacent supporters. So that's what I've been working on consistently for them. I know Amanda just returned back from the soft white trade mission down to Peru and Chile. But they always have so many things going on. Jumping back into this, it reminds me of just like how I was always wowed by like how much work very small teams across each state do every month. So if there's something that I missed, Amanda, please jump in.
No, I don't think you missed anything. In relation to the newsletter, that's one we do through the association and
right.
through the league side. I've really appreciated, and a number of the states on here are duals as well. And so I've appreciated being on yours. It's open if anyone else would like to see it. We're happy to add you on. It does have a little bit of state-specific items, but all of our pieces are open for the other states because we appreciate being able to leverage off of you too.
Excellent. Thank you, Amanda's. And JD Roner from our Arizona just popped on. JD, did I pronounce your name right? Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good.
I apologize
Hi.
for being late. I had a meeting this morning.
Glad you could join us. Thank you. We were just going around the horn and talking about communications activities at each of the states. And so if you have anything to share, welcome to do so now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I haven't done a whole lot in terms of printed communications. We are working on a couple different projects. We have a social media page that we're rehabbing and getting up and running on the consumer facing side. So that's one of the pieces. I'm working on creating a proposal for the council for our upcoming board meeting in November to have a better idea of what they're looking for in terms of communications for this group as we move forward. In the past, it appears as though the council has done an annual printed newsletter. And I think that there could be some advantageous efforts to perhaps have it accompanied by a digital aspect and maybe biannual or quarterly. So really just trying to kind of finesse and develop some proposals of what they would like to see and what we're capable of doing. So that's some of the different communications that we're working on. I haven't done a newsletter for them yet, but I also work for the Arizona Cotton Growers Association and have a monthly communication that goes out electronically as well. So I've been following everybody on Facebook, and we're working on developing a proposal for a website separate from our Arizona State Department of Agriculture. And so I've been creeping on everyone's websites, trying to figure out what pages everybody has, what it look like in Oregon, what does it look like in California, and trying to see, what are some different resources that are available to producers and to the consumer. So just really kind of at the beginning stages of developing something that might be a little bit new for Arizona.
Excellent. Excellent. Yep. For those who don't know, JD is the Arizona Grain Research and Promotion Council Executive Director, and also works for the Cotton Organization there as well. So Al was with us for many years, but we're glad to have you here. Hopefully this is valuable for you to pop in on these meetings, and it's great to share information with each other. And we're doing a recording here, so we'll share that as well. And I'll do minutes for the meeting. Did I miss anybody? I think I've got everyone. Yep. Good. So just a couple things to end here. I know several of you have helped us recently to review maps of U.S. wheat production. We are redoing those maps, and we have just completed that. I'm excited about that because I think it's a good update. The previous ones we had needed updating and probably had too much emphasis on density and other things. So we made these maps a little bit easier to use and see. So we will share those with everybody. The other thing I wanted to mention is that you probably are aware of this, but the Illinois Wheat Association, Illinois is actually one of the larger soft red winter producing states, is working toward trying to do an election for a checkoff program. And we have been supporting them, helping, doing visits to their meetings. It's just as likely that the money, if they actually get a checkoff, would go to research, similar to what Michigan does. But we want to be sure that we help any state that's working toward a checkoff. So if anybody has worked to renew a checkoff, I don't know if anybody has that requirement that occasionally you have to go back and get grower support for the wheat checkoffs. I'd sure like to hear from you. We're going to be talking next week about some ideas to help the Illinois Wheat Association there. They're currently looking at trying to that would they get sufficient signatures that allows them to go to the legislature and ask for a hearing. And then the legislature would have the hearing and give them the approval to go ahead for a ballot or election of wheat growers in the state. So they're in that process. They need to submit their signatures by March. So
they need 500. I think 500 farmers
total.
Is what they need. Yeah.
Yep. So if anybody has any experience or ideas on building awareness and support for a checkoff, please let me know. So talk about the next meeting. So our next board meeting is just around the corner. We're obviously meeting virtually for instead of at the fall joint meeting, partly because I'm not going to be there. That's the same week as the National Association of Farm Broadcasting's Trade Talk event. and it's a big event. And I think that we need to keep that. Need to keep that space, and if we drop out, we lose it. So I'm going to be there. Darren Paget has agreed to represent U.S. Wheat at that event, and Clay Shem from Kansas is going to represent NOG. I always look forward to that event, and it's coming up on the 14th of November. So the next board meeting is January 14th through the 18th or 19th, that week before the inauguration, which is interesting. So we need to talk about that. That meeting is always a lot of Hill visits, and a lot of folks that are on this committee do that. We've also got several other committees going on. There's a joint plenary session. There's a board orientation session, which I would encourage you to attend if you can.
13th,
the initial
Steve, 13th through the 16th.
Okay, thanks.
13th to the
That's
16th,
in DC.
Yeah.
And I think I'd like to have at least one meeting face to face, and that's tended to be the summer meeting. I'm not sure why, but I think it would be my own preference right now is looking at that agenda is to suggest doing another virtual meeting before then. I mean, part of it is it's only 2 months after the November meeting, and so there isn't going to be a lot new, I suspect. So we don't have to have it before the meeting in January. We could have it later in the year, maybe in February or March, before the next meeting would be the summer. What do you folks think? Is a virtual meeting separate from the Washington meeting in January appropriate? Everybody feel like that's good? Thumbs up or down?
The summer meeting is in Boise next year.
Yeah, in July.
Yeah.
So there's a big gap between January and July. I'm not even sure I'll be there in July.
Steve, I would be in favor of doing a virtual meeting. The ones that we try to do hybrid are always difficult in those hotel rooms. So if you're online, it's really hard to hear and contribute. So as much as I enjoy getting together and seeing everybody in person, I think it's probably more productive to do an online version.
Yeah.
With the
there
Hill
a com?
visits the same
I'm sorry.
day. I'm sorry, with the Hill visits the same day, that winter meeting is always difficult for this group.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. All right. Unless anybody is really adamant about it, having a face-to-face, we'll plan a meeting like this probably after that meeting. I would say sometime late Feb, early March. Let's see. Yeah, okay. That was it. Okay, that's all I have. Anybody else have questions? Janelle, thank you for volunteering to check off help with Illinois. I'll follow up with you. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? All right, thank you much for your time. I really appreciate it, and we'll see if we can share the video of this, and if not that, then the transcript probably would be just as good, or at least take less time to watch again. So I appreciate it all of you. Thank you very much, and good luck, safe travels, and good luck with your programs.